Hello, everybody. I thought I would just come on here and do a little quick Facebook Live. I just got off of a group coaching session with a bunch of amazing girls. And I wanted to come on and talk about one of the things that came up today in the work that we were doing together. And I thought, it's an important thing to talk about. It's kind of like a continuation of my last Facebook Live and going a little bit deeper into what I was talking about. So if you are brand new to the group and you don't know who I am, I'm Brianna. I'm a mental health transformation coach for teen girls, and yeah, I thought, gosh, why not do a Facebook Live right now? And I'm hoping the lighting is okay in here, because I don't know, sometimes the lighting in the evening gets a little weird in my office, but hopefully you can see me all right. So, I want to talk about something. I had a session with a client earlier today, and she said something to me that I just, well, first I'll say what she said. She said, "I'll believe it when I see it." I don't remember what exactly we were talking about, but she was like, "I'll believe it when I see it." And a lot of us grew up in a way where most of us think in this way, okay, I'll believe it when I actually see the evidence, or I actually see the proof that this is possible. But that is a very limited way of going through life, waiting for the evidence to show up for us to believe in something, for us to believe that we can have something, do something, create something, be something, right? That's a very limited way of thinking. There's another way that we can go through life, but it's not the way that we have been taught in school. It's not the way that, how we've been raised to think. And this is turning the statement, "I'll believe it when I see it," turning it around into kind of the opposite, which is first you have to believe it and then you get to see it, right? So it's taking it kind of the opposite way of what we've been taught. Well, what does this mean exactly? Well, our beliefs are so powerful, so powerful. Our beliefs are creating our reality. This same thing goes for your daughter. So your daughter's beliefs are creating her reality. And so if she's not happy with the life that she is living, then she's got to take a look at what are her beliefs that are creating this reality for her, right? Where does she need to shift her thinking, right? This is so important. But most girls are looking at their past, and they're looking at, well, we'll talk about, mental health with anxiety and depression. Let's say your daughter has been struggling with her mental health for a long time. So what she's going to do is she's going to look in her past at all of the evidence that basically says, well, this is what you've had for X amount of years, so this is just what you're gonna keep getting in your life. Because your daughter's looking at the wrong thing. She's looking at her past and she's not looking in her future. And we cannot create a bigger and better life when we're stuck looking at everything that has happened in our lives instead of changing it, not to where we are right now. We actually have to go a step further, and so does your daughter. She actually has to take a step further and go into, well, what's possible for her? What does she want to have? Who does she want to be? What does she want to create, right? Most girls don't do this. They don't know how to do this because they're stuck in where they're living right now, and they're also stuck in what they've seen in their past. So if a girl has had anxiety and depression for, let's say, 5 years, so she's going to be stuck in that thinking, in that loophole, in the feelings of all of this evidence that has shown her that this is what her reality is. And as long as she is looking at that, guess what? She creates more of that. Not just in her present, but her future will be more of what she's created in the past. Hopefully this makes sense. But I want to tell you something that changes everything, which is what happens when your daughter steps into her future and actually brings it like here. Like she starts creating a future that she wants to live in, right? Full of possibilities, full of hope, full of everything that she could possibly want for herself. And she brings it in here. But in order to do that, your daughter has to start thinking in a different way. She has to start expanding her mind different than where she's been living if she wants to create a new reality for herself. And we did an exercise in my group coaching program just a little while ago that I want to just share with all of you. And that was really getting these girls out of their current reality and start talking about what's possible. Like, you know, so some of the girls were talking about like, it's totally possible to wake up in the morning and feeling so good about myself. It's totally possible to love myself. It's totally possible to step into my worth and value, right? They're starting to talk about all the possibilities for their lives. And what happens when they do this is that they start claiming what they can actually have for themselves. Remember, when your daughter is struggling with anxiety and depression, it's very much, there's not much hope in that. There's not so much like looking to the future of what they can have. It's more of like, God, this sucks. God, I hate feeling this way. This is awful. This is what, if they're stuck in that, you know, struggling with their mental health challenges, it's almost like they're spinning and they keep these thoughts kind of just going around in their head, right? And they're just like, God, I hate feeling this way. Life sucks. It's never going to get any better. I'm so sad. I have no friends. And it keeps spinning. And they're not going to get any better from that place. So what needs to happen is they have to stop focusing on everything that they don't want. What is that giving them? More of what they don't want. So they have to get out of that. They have to start taking control of this, of their mind, and start focusing on what do they want. Now, here's the thing. Most teen girls don't even know what they want. I used this example with the girls today that like, if you go to a, like, let's say you go to like a Subway or like a sandwich place and you order a sandwich, you wouldn't say, just like, give me a sandwich, like whatever you want to put on it, I'll take it. You make whatever sandwich you want and I'll eat it. Like, who says that? Nobody says that, okay? If you want a sandwich, you go to Subway or you go to any place that's gonna make you a sandwich, you're gonna say, I want this kind of bread, I want this kind of meat, hold the cheese, put the mayo on there, extra lettuce, hold the pickles, yes on the tomato, no on the jalapeno, whatever it is, you're gonna be specific. Here's where teen girls are not being specific. They don't know, one, they don't know what they want, and two, they don't know how to create it because they're not willing to ask for what it is that they want. Okay? This is very, very important. If your daughter is struggling with her mental health, then she has to start getting in the vibration and the frequency of what is her life going to look like when she's not struggling with anxiety, she's not struggling with depression. What could life look like from that place? Okay? Now, what I find happens quite often is girls are like, they'll kind of doubt, like when I get them to start doing this, it feels weird and it feels awkward to like talk about all of the possibilities, talk about what their future can be like, and then they kind of throw in some things that they don't want. And I'm like, stop doing that, right? Your daughter has to stop focusing on everything that she doesn't want. Leave that out. It doesn't matter. It's actually interfering with everything that she wants for herself. So what she needs to do is let go of all the things that she doesn't want. Put that aside. Save it for later. Actually, she doesn't even need it for later. She just needs to toss it, put it aside, and all she needs to do is focus on what she wants. She needs to obsess about it. She needs to start getting into the emotions and the feelings of what is it going to feel like when she has this, when she's experiencing this. When she's happy, what is it going to feel like? When she wakes up and she looks at herself in the mirror and she's loving herself, what is that going to feel like? What is it going to do for her? How is it going to feel for your daughter to like start laughing again with her friends? What is that going to feel like? Because this feeling is what creates her new reality, okay? But your daughter's not going to get to this if she's stuck in anxiety and depression and she's like, oh my God, my life sucks. It just sucks. Horrible. Nothing is ever going to get any better. This is how a lot of girls are just, this is their self-talk. And then we try to like look at all of the things that are going to help them, like the medication, the therapy, the whatever. But really what's going to help your daughter more than anything is understanding her mindset and knowing how to shift that, right? You can't get that in some medication. And so the real work here is getting your daughter to believe in something that she has not seen yet and that she has not experienced before, and bring it into her life right here, right now. This changes everything. And it was funny because there were a couple of girls in the group session today, and that we did this exercise where they were talking about like what is possible for them. And one girl said, God, it felt really awkward. It felt weird, uncomfortable to do that. I was like, good. Keep doing that. Because here's the thing. Growth is not comfortable, okay? Growth is uncomfortable, right? We're not meant to stay comfortable in everything that we do, and your daughter isn't meant to stay comfortable in her life as well. If she wants to grow and expand and become the person that she's here to be, she's gonna have to get uncomfortable. It's part of the process. That's what life wants her to do. So this is really powerful because when your daughter starts choosing a different way on how she wants to feel, so instead of, let's say her current reality, let's say your daughter is super unmotivated, she's feeling depressed, she's feeling anxious, she's feeling all of the things, right? All of those negative emotions, okay? What she needs to start doing is focusing on what she wants. Okay, this is why having a support, having a coach, having something where it's not just you telling her this. Like if you go to your daughter and you just say to her, just, honey, just focus on what you want, she's gonna look at you like you're crazy. Because what I hear so often is just, girls don't want to hear this from you. You're the mom. You're a bit too close to home for her, right? That's why having an outside person like a coach is so important, right? And so when your daughter starts looking at her life in a different way and starts expanding her mind to what is possible, what can be possible for her, that's when life starts to get really, really good. But your daughter can't create a better life from the place that has created all of her problems and obstacles and challenges and mental health issues. Because if that's where she's living and if that's what she's focusing on, she's going to get more of that. Because there is a simple law. Hey, Eileen, there's a simple law of the universe. It's called the law of attraction. And no, it's not woo-woo. This is like real stuff. It's basically, if you're not familiar with the law of attraction, it's whatever you focus on grows and expands. So let's give an example here. If your daughter is so focused on depression and anxiety and how life has been so hard for her, guess what she's going to get more of? More of that. Why? Because she's choosing to focus on that. So life is just going to give her more of that. That's it. Simple as that. But what happens when your daughter changes? how she is thinking and what happens when your daughter starts stepping into the possibilities for what she can have in her life and what she wants and really starting to get clear. This is the thing, most girls aren't even clear on what they want. They know all the things that they don't want. In fact, they can spend hours, even days maybe, talking about all the things that they don't want. You ask your daughter what she wants, I guarantee that most of your daughters will look at you like you're crazy and be like, what I want? I don't know what I want. That's a problem. That's a problem if your daughter doesn't know what she wants. Because how can we create something if we don't even know what we want? And also there's this thing called the universe that is here to support each and every one of us. It doesn't feel that way when your daughter is struggling with her mental health challenges, but let me tell you this, the universe is here to support her, but she's got to get clear on what she wants and obsess about it. Focus on it. Really, like when she wakes up in the morning, it's the first thing that she thinks about when she wakes up. It's the last thing that she thinks of when she goes to bed. Now, these are things that are not taught in school. These are things that are, there's no classes on this in school that teach them how to do this. So it's really important if your daughter is struggling with her mental health, she's got to start doing this work on herself, and she most likely won't be able to on her own. She doesn't have the discipline. Okay, that's the thing that's like missing for girls that are struggling with their mental health. They don't actually realize that there's work that's required for them to change how they're feeling. And a lot of girls just want to take a pill. I just give me some medication, because I'd rather take medication than actually do the work. But if your daughter wants like good grades in school, there's no other way of going about it. She's got to put in the work if she wants the good grades. So why would this be any different? Mental health is if your daughter wants good mental health, how is that different from doing well in school? You put in the work. So just like she puts in the work for school, she's got to put in the work for her mental health. It's as simple as that. But here's the thing, most girls have grown up not putting the work into their mental health, which is why mental health among teen girls is at an all-time low right now. And then you add the coronavirus and the pandemic and all of it, and girls are struggling more than ever before. And girls are not disciplined on, they don't know what to do, they don't know how to do it, they don't even know where to begin. And so this is why it's so important to seek outside help. It's so important. And this is the work that I do with the girls in my coaching program. And so it was so fun today, because I was helping the girls step into like, okay, what's possible? What do you want? What do you want to create? And seeing all these girls and like the smiles on their faces and them coming to life, because they're actually stepping into what is possible, and they're getting energized, and they're like, yeah, I can claim this. I can own this, right? Instead of where they've been before, where it's like, nothing works for me. Nothing's ever going to get any better. Doom and gloom. That's not a place where you want your daughter to be living anymore, if she is living there right now, right? So it's so important, so going back to what I said before, it's really flipping it's not about you'll believe it, your daughter will believe it when she sees it. She has to actually start believing what is possible first, and then her reality can change. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that. If you have questions about what I talked about, leave them below. If you haven't watched my webinar called Healing the New Medicine for Anxiety and Depression, definitely check that out. I'll leave the link below, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day or night. Mwah! Bye for now.